Disneyland has had many extinct attractions, one of them being the motor cruise of Fantasyland. In this video, we will talk about the history of the motorboat cruise and also the eventual demise of it. The motorboat cruise opened in June of 1957, just shy of 2 years after Disneyland opened. Now, in my research, I cannot find an exact day, just that it opened sometime in June. The idea of the motor boost originally, well, the idea of the motorboat cruise originated from the failure of the Tomorrowland attraction, Phantom boats. They opened with the park in 1955 as the Tomorrowland boats and were littered with tons of mechanical problems. It was later renamed to the Phantom boats, and an attempt was made to fix the mechanical failures. Unfortunately, they could not figure it out, basically. Specifically, the problem was that the engines would overheat when the guests would go very quickly, and the guests would become stranded in the lagoon, and a cast member would have to come and get them. I should also say that the lagoon that housed the Phantom boats later would become the home of the submarine voyage, and then eventually the home of the Finding Nemo submarine voyage in 1959. The Phantom boats would close in 1956. The Phantom boats had given guests a free-range boat piloting experience, but Disney had learned from their mistakes. Just like how they had learned from their mistakes with many other projects, and decided to put a center track that the guests would have to stay on, but they could still move slightly, so it was very similar to the system now used on Autopia. The Autopia originally was not like this, though. If you look at videos of opening day, Autopia did not, it was just like go-karts. You could call it the motorboat cruise, kind of a water version of Autopia. The motorboat cruise opened in 1957, and as I said before, it was in between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, kind of behind the Matterhorn, but at the time, there was no Matterhorn, if that makes any sense. And in between Small World, but also at the time, there was no Small World. Opening around the same time as the motorboat cruise was the Viewliner, which may have its own video, so I don't want to cover it too greatly. It was pretty much a precursor to the monorail and opened in to the monorail, which opened in 1959. The Viewliner also opened in June 1957. As I said, it opened a very similar time period. Another removed attraction nearby was the Junior Autopia, which we will talk a lot more about later. The Junior Autopia eventually met its demise when it was expanded, turned into just the Fantasyland Autopia, and then eventually just combined with Tomorrowland to make the much longer one that we have today. It wasn't a super popular attraction. The motorboat cruise wasn't a super popular attraction and was considered a B-ticket attraction, as you can see from this photo. Among the likes of the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse in the Main Street Cinnamon? Wait, what? For a few decades, the motorboat cruise sat there peacefully operating without change or disturbance until 1991, when those pesky Disney Channel TV shows just had to be created. They had to make that TV shows, and they had to be popular, had to ruin everything. When Disney was celebrating the success of their new Disney Afternoon line with Disney Afternoon Live, an event taking place at Disneyland. And a few attractions were created based off of the popular shows. Some shows included in the Disney Afternoon were DuckTales, Tailspin, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Gummy Bears, and many more. Because of this newfound success, 2 attractions were selected to be rethemed based off these shows. First was the Rescue Rangers Raceway, which was a short retheming of the Fantasyland Autopia I mentioned before. It was only around for like a year, so it was not around for a long time. And if, as you can see in these pictures, you have like Gadget and all these characters in their costumes at the opening, and it was pretty cool. Eventually, we did get another Chippendale Rescue Rangers attraction, being Gadget's Go Coaster in Toontown, which I will also mention later. And then let's move more to our focus, which is the retheming of the Motorboat Cruise, called the Cruise to Gummy Glen, which was based off of the TV show Gummy Bears. And throughout the attraction, guests would see the different gummy bears making gummy berry juice, and had different decorations, a new exterior, very bright and lots of pink. Anyways, in 1991, the Gummy Bear retheming opened and was not very popular. It was popular with a lot of the youth and people who watched the show, but it was very not popular with the general guests, and it was eventually closed in 1993 to make budget for a brand new land that was opening. This land was the one and only, drum roll please. Wait, why didn't no one drum roll? Well, it was Toontown. Although the Motorboat Cruise is closed, you can still kind of visit a part of it, and it's very enjoyable. You can still find the boat dock, which now houses chairs and tables, and you can sit down and eat there, just relax. It's called Fantasia Gardens. In 2008, though, it was remade into a designated smoking area, but thankfully, they decided no more smoking at Disneyland. And so now it's a quiet place where you can relax, as I said, eat your chimichanga. And anyway, that is a summary of the history, origins, and some of the areas and things surrounding the extinct Motorboat Cruise inside of Fantasyland. And it is not a huge long history because there were not many changes in between the Motorboat Cruise and the Gummy Glen version, as what I found. And anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I would appreciate if you subscribed, and maybe if you enjoyed, you could press the like. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.